Welcome back, everybody, to our Wellness Wednesday podcast.
Yes.
I am one of your hosts, Cristy, licensed clinical mental health counselor supervisor.
And I'm Irish, your licensed clinical addiction specialist. Today, we're diving into a powerful and necessary conversation: mental health and communities of color.
That's good. I love it. We'll talk about cultural stigma, barriers to care, resilience, and practical strategies for healing. Whether you're tuning in for yourself, a loved one, or just to learn, we hope this episode encourages awareness, and action.
Naming the challenges. In many communities of color, mental health is still considered a taboo. People might hear just pray about it. We don't want to talk about our problems outside the family. We hear that a lot. While faith and family are important, silence can create shame and keep people from getting the support they need.
That's very true, Iris. Yes, and historically, communities of color have faced trauma, systematic oppression, and lack of access to care, which is very sad.
Yeah.
These experiences create generational wounds, and that's what we talked about last week, generational trauma. If mental health services are not affordable, culturally competent, or even available, people often suffer in silence.
Now, that's so true. And the silence sometimes shows up as physical symptoms, chronic stress, high blood pressure, substance abuse, difficult with relationships. We need to connect those dots between mental and physical health. We have said this in several episodes, connecting the dots between the two.
Stigma is one of the biggest barriers. People worry they'll be judged, misunderstood, or labeled weak. Especially is true for men of color, who are often expected to carry everything without complaint.
They post so often there, especially in the black community, they've seen this. You have to be strong. Don't show any emotions. No,
Oh yeah,
no crying. You hold that in.
Be a man.
Be a man. Work through that.
Right. We don't talk about our emotions. That's for women.
And one thing that helped is representation. Seeing Black, Latinos,
Yes.
Asians, Native clinicians who understands the cultural awareness and make someone feel safe and welcome to open up.
That's
and
good.
Communicate those thoughts and those feelings.
Absolutely. Even if someone doesn't share your background, they can still practice cultural humility, asking questions, listening deeply, and respecting traditions. Therapists need to create a space where clients don't feel like they have to code switch or explain every part of their culture. Now that is true. And I don't like to feel like in any environment I'm in, I have to code switch. I have to switch up just to fit in or for people to understand me. Or I can't, if I display this or do this, I'm too Black, or I'm showing a culture stigma that is put out there in society, and I don't want to be that stigma. And that's something that I think a lot of people fear, and that's a component to people not want to get help because they feel like people just don't understand them.
And to piggyback on what you said, especially when it comes to Black women, if they're voicing their opinion, they're identified as being a problem person
Aggressive.
or aggressive,
Too assertive. Yeah, that's true. We do get that hiccup a lot when we're just being passionate. And let me take that back. Assertiveness is the best communication you can be because you're being clear and concise. There's no gray area. Our assertion is looked at as aggression. Aggressiveness is an issue when you're not being open to other people and you're too stern. You're trying to push your agenda or your objective on other people, and that's not what we're doing when we're sharing or trying to get people to understand where we're coming from. Just being empathetic. You might, like we said before, you might not even get it. You might not understand because you didn't come from our world or someone else's background. But just to be empathetic and understanding, like, wow, I've never been through that, but I can see how that affects you. Can take you a long way.
And sometimes even with your family, some people are misunderstood. And with that being said, even with families, talking openly about therapy can normalize it.
Yeah.
Imagine saying, I have therapy tomorrow was accepted as I'm going to the gym.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got therapy tomorrow.
So normal.
Yes, yeah, normal. Yeah. The shift starts with conversations like this.
Exactly. Something I always want to highlight is the resilience that exists in our communities. Storytelling, music, faith traditions, and intergenerational wisdom has been a source of strength, and that is very true. And that's what I love about my community. And I even love to hear other people who are from who have different backgrounds share their cultures and traditions, because it's just good to learn how people get through things, how people celebrate things, traditions. I just like to get a better understanding of people because you get to see where they come from and where their strength lies.
And that's why I like to travel to different places to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
And yes, community is a healing space, like the barbershop, the beauty salons, church, neighborhood centers, community centers, often become a safe place for people to talk. We can honor those spaces while also introducing professional support.
Yeah. I know going to the barbershop, you get your good conversations in, and the beauty salon, even going to your local mom and pop shop, or the local cuisine, you get to have that camaraderie, and it's a safe space for people to interact. I look forward, our family, we look forward to our cookouts and our family gatherings, because it is a safe space where we get to share, and I get to hear all these wonderful stories before I was born, or even when I was little. I just like to see the camaraderie and how people are coming together and talking about traditions and faith and all of that. It's very powerful. I think of resilience not just as surviving, but transforming.
That's true.
Turning pain into purpose, turning silence into advocacy, and turning barriers into bridges.
Ooh, I like that. That's powerful. And reminds listeners that seeking help doesn't erase resilience.
Right.
It adds to it.
That's good, Iris. Let's share some practical ways listeners can support themselves or loved ones.
Okay.
One is starting with mental health check ins. Ask, how is your heart today? Instead of, how are you? I like that. Iris, how's your heart today?
It's a little tired, but I feel good compared to how I've been feeling.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. That's progress.
Another is journaling, writing down emotions to help release what you held inside. For some, prayer, meditation, mindfulness practice, all those are good tools.
Exactly. Community events, support groups, especially those created by and for people of color, can provide validation and connection. It is important that you stay grounded to your community, whatever your community is, whoever that is, whatever that looks like. It's important to have, and I think as a society we're getting away from that. Yes, it's good to go out there and have all of these different things, but it's nothing like having your own little piece of something right here, and nothing is wrong with that. It doesn't take away from what's going on with everybody else and their traditions and norms and all of that, but it's okay to have a little piece, a little niche here just carved out for you, where you feel safe and protected and where you feel a sense of belonging. Why is that wrong? It shouldn't be.
Right. And once again, don't underestimate professional help. Even if you don't find a therapist who looks like you can still interview or search for different ones. Ask, how do you incorporate cultural awareness into your work? That right there as a client.
Yeah. Today, we unpacked the stigma, highlighted resilience, and shared tools for building mental health in communities of color.
If you're listening and you have been holding it back from reaching out, this is your reminder that healing is possible and you don't have to do it alone. That's why this is so important, this talk right here. Like I said, finding that connection, no matter what background you're in, to find that safe place that you're able to communicate your feelings and thoughts that you need to express.
Exactly. You have your churches.
Mm-hmm.
There's many places and organizations out there, and groups that you can attend to get a sense of safety, security, normalcy, and a
Mm-hmm.
place where you fit in. You just have to find which one works for you. Um, and also on the opposite end of that, not just stay in that bubble, because it
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of things and different people out here. So it's good to have a good balance of both, not just being consumed about who you are and your identity, but also being open to other people and what they have going on. It cultivates a sense of respect and unity, for everyone in this world, which is what I think we need today.
And that goes back to like hobbies that you might have. Like pickleball is a big thing now. So that could
Yep.
be a group that you might enjoy, you know, interacting with. You may
Hmm.
find somebody that have the same things that you like to do. I mean, it doesn't just have to be, you know.
You're right, Iris. And I even been seeing when I'm browsing on social media, if you the algorithm, however they work that
Mm-hmm.
thing out, I'm now seeing a lot of things in our area about things that I like, different places. I follow people who show me different
Mm-hmm.
little special spots that I might like and interested in. So why not look at something like that and then go try it out?
Yes.
You never know. You might like it, and then you might meet like-minded people in the
There you
same
go.
area.
Right.
The church, the men just had a cycling event
Yes. So many
um,
people cycle.
a week ago. We
Mm-hmm.
know that that's the thing. In my mind, I'm a cycler. I'm a runner too. I'm a runner. I'm a track star. All of these things in my mind, I am, even though I don't do them. But to know that there are things, places, and things out there in groups that if I ever get it ain't even the courage because I'm not afraid. It's just I don't like activities. But if I ever like say, Cristy, go try it. That is something I know I can do. And I like how we form these different spots. And that's what we have here with our podcast
Mm-hmm.
for people who want to get a better understanding from two Black sisters, who are a profession. This is our profession. This is what we do. We like to educate and offer a safe place to people. So please feel free to comment, share, if there's topics that you want us to talk about. Put it in the comment section. And so it's just an open forum for us to talk in, because you like to have, there's so many podcasts out there. It's podcasting world out there. You have your Twitchers and your YouTubers, um, different platforms out here, and you just find what works for you. It Even though some people, you start out slow because you don't want to go out there, maybe you're afraid to go out in public and be open, so you
Mm-hmm.
start small by just joining a forum like this and subscribing and chatting it up with us.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows, maybe if this thing even blows up, we try to take it out into the street and meet up as a collective to talk about
Right.
this and have a live event. That'll be really cool to do. So we say all this to say that it's important for you to embrace who you are, your community, your culture, and also not be afraid to step outside of the norm, your comfort zone. Because you never know, you might find new things that might interest you.
Chris, I want to add it. If we did parasailing, I think you can cycle.
Parasailing only involved me strapping into something, and the boat and the string, the rope did all the work. Cycling is me
Actually
actively doing
doing stuff.
stuff.
Oh,
No,
no.
I'm not interested. But for those of you
Oh,
who do, I think I tip
you
my
guys
hat
are
off to
great.
you. You're great. I have to find what works for me,
Yeah,
Iris.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
thank
true.
you all for joining us for Wellness Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe. Share this episode with someone who needs it and connect with us on social media. And for our Spotify, our listeners out there who say we don't have time to sit and look at y'all talk. Look at y'all podcast. Listen to us while you're driving, or when you're getting dressed in the morning or winding down at night. Check us out.
Until next time, take care of yourself and your community.
Thank you guys.
See you next week.